Good morning, everyone. My name is Bob Irvin from the Rally Show and Rally Sport News. And today I would like to talk about car clubs. A few days ago, I was interviewing somebody and I was asked the $1 million question: how do we get more marshals involved in the sport? And that really is a tough one, isn't it? So I was thinking about it the other day, and like a lot of things in rallying, for me, it comes back to car clubs. And it's really got me thinking about car clubs just lately and what they do and the difference between them now and what they were like when I was a lad, etc. And how car clubs have changed. The landscape's changed, certainly. And not only that, people that watch rallying have changed as well. That there's more going on in life and stuff like that. So how do we get people through the car club doors to then introduce them to marshalling? I think we've got to move on with the times a little bit. I think, for example, when I was smaller, I used to go because I was with the older ones. I loved cars, I loved rallying. We'd rock up and watch a rally video, and it was great. Have a pint, or the bigger ones would have a pint, or sneak a drink, stuff like that, and it was great. These days, a lot of these don't even happen in pubs, and there's no video nights, anything like that anymore. So, how do we get around that? How do we keep when an 18-year-old boy or girl comes into your car club? How do we keep them stimulated to want to come back the next month? I don't think the answer is by us all gets talking about Mikola winning the 1979 RAC rally and eating Geo Escort, stuff like that. They're not bored about that. So, what is there for these kids at car clubs? I was thinking, along the lines of gaming and stuff like that. Could we not introduce gaming? I mean, that's just swapping the video nights for a gaming night. You can get the whole gaming set up for 500 quid, put it in the corner. Just fold it up, take it to the car club. And the adults, it's not just for the teenagers and stuff. The adults can have a gaming night. I think that's one way to try and get the youth of today in through the doors. I don't know if, listen, I'm not saying all clubs. I mean, there's some fantastic clubs out there that do their utmost to get the footfall. But there's some that probably don't, and I believe there's a bit of apathy involved in running some car clubs these days, and I can absolutely understand why as well. I mean, the car clubs could maybe also put posters up in local colleges, especially if they've got a car mechanic section, stuff like that, and add in the local paper. Surely that would help. I don't know why we don't do things like that, and I say we because I'm a member of a car club as well. We've all got our challenges with getting new members. I would say probably the busiest clubs, I say busy, but not as in footfall. I'm talking about the most memberships are events at the start of the season, where it's the first round of a championship and everybody clambers for the club's very own membership card. So these clubs seem to have a really high turnover. So what do we actually get as a car club member? I mean, there's some clubs give you nothing. They just take the membership money and they give you absolutely nothing. No newsletter, nothing. All that card is doing is allowing you to compete on rallies. So you're paying a car club to compete on rallies. Surely the membership deserve more than that. It's a touchy subject, this one. I don't want to ruffle any feathers, because I know that people do their utmost. A lot of people do their utmost. But I was talking to a guy about 6 months ago, and he's been involved in rallying all his days as a spectator. He's now a navigator, and he has no idea who his local car club is. He just joins the first one of the season so he can get his card. And that's quite incredible, isn't it, if you think about it? That's a serious lack of advertising. We're at such an advanced stage now, being able to communicate via social media, that car clubs should be all over the place. They should be front, centre, middle to us all, to get new people through the doors. I know it's not easy, but I don't know how the MS UK help on this as well. Surely they've got an obligation to help car clubs get memberships. I've I could do a few of these on Emish UK. I think I will, a few chats on Emish UK. But I'm kind of concerned that if you look at rallying now, it's not so much, especially up here in Scotland. I can only talk about Scotland. Rallying up here seems to be, it's not just surviving. In some cases, it's thriving. How do we keep it going like that? Well, I think it takes care of itself. I mean, we're in a cost of living crisis, and yet there's good entries. I think the biggest danger to the sport at the moment is lack of marshals and people want to help. Set up, that's another interesting one. Set up. I really think, I mean, I'm pretty sure the stage in Scotland was cancelled due to lack of marshals. I remember the old Scottish rally years ago, stages getting cancelled due to lack of marshals. And that was years ago, that was in the 80s when clubs were quite busy. And do you know another thing about marshalling? They say to me that they can't be bothered with the whole PC thing, signing on and doing all that business. Even though it only takes 10 minutes, I can actually relate to that myself. I can't be bothered with it. I can't be bothered. I haven't even sent away from my club membership yet because it's online. I'm maybe old school, and I prefer to just do things with cash. Anyway, getting away from my point. My point was about getting marshals people through doors. I would say that England seem to have a better rate, not rate, that's the wrong word for sure, a far greater amount of marshals and people willing to help events than we've got up here. So perhaps we could look at English car clubs and say, what are you doing that we're not doing? There's some great car clubs in Scotland. There really is. 63, Ayr, East Ayrshire, Glenoffice. There's some terrific clubs who do a lot for the sport, put on loads of stuff. But I can't help feeling that if we don't get this Marshall thing sorted out soon, I don't think chucking them 20 quid's the answer. It certainly helps. Fuel money is great, but I just think there's becoming an apathy as well from marshals about turning up. They're just going to do it, but some of them not enjoying it and they'll not last that long. I don't think it's fair to expect a marshal to turn up at a forest these days so early, hours before the start of the first car and everything. A lot of them. This is just what people are telling me when I ask them, because I'm a nosy git and I like to ask everyone about rallying. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. I think car clubs could absolutely do a bit more. Some car clubs advertise that they're actually running. There's car clubs out there, I don't know if they still exist. So, yeah. So, anyway, if you leave your thoughts below and then the content, and I'll be sure to bring you some more of my nonsense next week. And thanks for watching. So, cheers for now.